Well, listen to this. Mobile has become a recognizable point on international maps. This with the arrival of Airbus and Alstom.
Economic data and information to help sell the port city to major companies has been prepared over the years by Dr. Semoon Chang.
That's right. The career economist recently sat down with our Eric Reynolds to talk about industrial recruiting, his journey from war-torn Korea, and also helping businesses. Here's the interview.
I wrote my dissertation at Florida State. That was about economic development of underdeveloped countries. When I came to South Alabama, I threw away everything. I started tackling and studying practical problems and work with businesses.
Dr. Semoon Chang's career as an economics professor started more than 40 years ago at USA. Since 1971, Dr. Chang has worked with businesses on the Gulf Coast and statewide. He decided to become an economist while a student in Korea.
In Korea, you had to declare your major at the time you were admitted, and I selected economics without even knowing what economics is all about.
But he did know the importance of a college education.
All my brothers and sisters, we really stressed education. And that's the number one thing. My parents, the number one thing in the mind of my parents was educating children. We did our best to get best education.
There are still those who remain in the combat zones between the two armies, keeping UN soldiers constantly on guard against the danger of communist infiltrators.
Times were tough in post-war Korea. Chang became a student soldier. He volunteered for mandatory Army service before being drafted.
I served as a student soldier for 1.5 years. I served in the demilitarized zone in the reconnaissance company. So real tough, tried to be tough, and I learned from that.
Chang graduated from what he calls top-notch schools in Korea, but many of his friends encouraged him to go to the U.S.
A lot of my friends came here. Many of them are doctors, many of them are professors. Southern Illinois University, I selected that because they had the lowest tuition. And I didn't have a scholarship. It was a really tough. Total amount of money I had was $300. That paid for tuition at the time. Then I made the RAs and 1B. So from then on, I studied on scholarships.
He also attended Washington University in St. Louis, then completed his doctorate at Florida State. Another friend told the now Dr. Chang about a young South Alabama.
I had a friend at there teaching, and he called me. He said, "Semoon, why don't you come over?" I liked it. And the longer I stayed, the more I liked. I became part of the community there.
USA celebrated 50 years in 2013. Dr. Chang's career has spanned more than 40 years at the university.
I was part of that growth, and I published, articles in national journals, and I taught, and I helped businesses. I was growing together with the university. That's a Center for Business and Economic Research. That really opened the door completely for me to help local businesses. So I worked with local chamber people for many years, big businesses and small businesses. I helped the ThyssenKrupp, Oster, and the Hargrove Engineering, and Volcker Associates.
Dr. Chang helps businesses through economic impact and market feasibility studies, and economic forecast, information that can help attract international interest.
Something we are doing real well in Alabama, that's industrial recruiting. We are as competitive as anybody in the country. That's how we attracted the ThyssenKrupp and Oster and Airbus. The greatest contribution they are making is the perception of Mobile to outsiders. I heard many Koreans saying that, "Hey, I want to go to Alabama." Now we have a Hyundai and Kia.
Although retired from USA since 2012, Dr. Chang is still a business resource.
I see good future for Mobile, but there are a lot of work to do. Rather than retired, I say I changed my job to the Gulf Coast Center for Impact Studies, helping businesses, and I continue to enjoy that When you help businesses, you see some tangible outcome there. I always look forward, okay? I never look backward.
In Mobile, Eric Reynolds, Fox 10 News.
Dr. Chang, who has written 6 books and numerous articles, also spends his time as a columnist for a Korean newspaper. He's a select panelist for a worldwide economic survey, and he is still the lectures at universities.
One change he believes would improve our quality of life is metro government. Dr. Chang says the merger of Mobile and the county into one municipal entity would actually allow development and progress happen faster and waste less money.